Welcome to iFour Institute. I am Khushbu, working as .NET software developer in iFour Technolab Pvt Limited. This series is about .NET framework. We would start with basic programming and related topics. In first session, we discussed about basic HTML. Now let's move ahead with next session on CSS. So let's start with CSS. Now what is CSS? CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS is used for attractive UI. It is a way to control the appearance and layout of your web pages. As you can see here, there are some ways to describe the CSS that is used to describe the presentation of documents. It is used to define size, spacing, fonts, layout, etc. It improves content accessibility and flexibility. Designed to separate presentation from content, CSS style sheets are a modern way to control the appearance and layout of your web pages. They are used to control how elements are presented in a web pages. Now, how to declare a CSS? CSS consists of rules, selectors, declarations, properties, and values. There are basically three rules for using CSS. That is, selectors are always separated by commas. Please remember, declarations are separated by semicolons, and properties and their values are separated by colons. So let's have an example for this. It's called like a heading tag. So h1, h2, h3. I am giving color red, font size 12 pixel. Here you can see that h1, h2 and h3. These three are selectors which are separated by commas. Again, here there are two declarations, one for color and second for font size. You can see these both are separated by semicolon. Now, color is a property and red is its value. Similarly, font size is a property and 12 pixel is its value. You can see property and its value both are separated by a colon. So you can say that this is a basic structure of writing a CSS which we can follow. Now the question is, which type of selector we have to use to apply these rules? So let me answer. HTML elements, or you can say tags. Every HTML elements or any of the HTML tags can be used as a selectors. Secondly, attributes, that is ID, class, or any of the attributes. For example, for image, there is a alter attribute, so you can also give CSS to that alter attribute. Let's see an example. You can see here header a dot header, that means a class having header. A is an anchor tag and color green. Similarly, second example, ID menu followed by its child li, padding top 8 pixel. Basically, there are three kinds of selectors: by tag selector, or you can say by element ID selector, or you can say by element class name selector. Here you can have a three example for by tag, by element ID, and by element class name. You can see here, it simply means that you can also give same type of styling to multiple CSS. As you can see here, this will match h1 tags elements with class link and also with element ID top link. Selectors that match relative to element placements. In this example, you can see here I had written paragraph tag PA and text decoration underline. This will match all A tag, that is anchor tag, inside every paragraph tag. This CSS will apply to every anchor tag having parent as having parent P. Now again asterisk mark, that is universal selector. Please avoid using this universal selector. Sometimes it can be dangerous. If you want to use universal selector, you can use like this. This will match all descendants of P element. If P element have an anchor tag or a div tag or a span tag, any of the tag will be applied this CSS color equal to black. There is also plus selector used to match next sibling. Let's have an example for this. You can see here image plus dot link, that is class having a value link float right. This will match all siblings with a class name link that appears immediately after image tag. More about selector, there are pseudo classes as well. Now these are pseudo classes. It just means the state of an element. If you want to apply some sort of styling on some state of element, then you can do like this. Pseudo elements define element parts or are used to generate a content. Here is an example. You can see anchor tag on hover, color red. Paragraph tag first line text transform is equal to uppercase. Dot title, that is a class with a title. Before class contain this and after class title contain this. Now let's have a look for some sort of examples. Let me show you one demo example for application of styling which we learned all above. I already created a demo file, so let's have a look. You can here see that inside a body tag there is a div tag having a span followed by anchor tag. Secondly, after completion of div tag there is a navigation tag. Inside navigation tag there is a UL and LI. After navigation tag you can see a section of the page and 3 different article tags and content over it. So let me run this application so you can get more so you can have a better example. I am running this application. Here you can see that this is an anchor tag. On hover text is underlined. So what kind of CSS I gave to anchor tag? Let me show you. Here inside a style tag you can see anchor tag on hover. I am giving a text decoration equal text decoration underline. So in this document every anchor tag inside a span tag this or anchor tag inside a ULLI this all will be applied with a CSS text decoration underline on hover. Let me show you. You can see here on underline, on hover this text is underlined, on hover this text is also underlined, and on hover this both are underlined. Now suppose I don't want to give underline tag to on hover of this. I just want to give underline to only these 3 anchor tags. So what can I do? You just have to do is here you can see this anchor tag have a parent navigation, UL and LI. So if I want to give text decoration equal to underline for all LI tag, I just have to do is what? I have to give a path like navigation tag followed by UL followed by LI having a hover equal to text decoration underline. Let me save this. Now I will run. You can see on hover no effect is here because I didn't apply CSS to this anchor tag, but I applied CSS to this anchor tag, this 3 anchor tag. So it is showing me underline below the text. Now suppose I want to give a unique CSS style, then what I have to do? You have to do is just use ID attribute. So here I want to give a different color and uppercase functionality to London div. So what will I do is I gave CSS style on basis of ID. As you can see, I have given ID div London to div of the London. Now I want to give just CSS to this div. So I will do what? On basis of ID. So I will do what? You can see here I have appended hash ahead of ID value. It is just indication that this value is given to a ID attribute. Similarly for class, we will use dot ahead of a class value. So hash for ID and dot for a class. So you can see here in div London, I have given text transform equal to uppercase. So the text written in this div will be in uppercase and the color of the text must be a green. You can see here, I am running this application. You can see here the London is in uppercase having a color equal to green. Now suppose I want to give CSS on basis of a class. You can see here this paragraph tag having a class 1 and this paragraph is also having a class 1. Suppose I want to give a common CSS to this both paragraph tags. So I will give on basis of a class because both are belonging to same class. And I want to give a different CSS to this paragraph tag on basis of class. So let me show you how I will give CSS to this both classes. You can see here the color of a class 1 will be in RGB format and this will give a color in RGB format, and second class, that is the last paragraph tag, having a color red. So what will be the effect? Let me show you. I am running this application again. You can see here the text inside a paragraph, the text belongs to a paragraph having a class 1, both have a same color of RGB format. You can see here London and Paris is an example, and the last class, that is a Tokyo class, which I have given a color red, is in a red color. You can also give CSS like this using attributes ID and class both. Let me show you an example of image tag. Inside a div, I given an image source equal to my path of the image, and alter tag equal to image1. Suppose I want to give a CSS on basis of alter tag, that is this. So how I will manage this? I already applied the CSS for this. You can see here, image inside a square bracket, name of the attribute followed by its value, and whatever CSS you want. Suppose I have given a height equal to 200 pixel. Let me run this. You can see the height is of a 200 pixel. Now suppose I want this to be a smaller, that is 100 pixel. So what I will do is just change the height, that is 100 pixel. Now let's see the difference. Running this application again. You can see here the image is resized and height is according to 100 pixel. Height is equal to 100 pixel. Now values in CSS rule, that is colors are set in RGB format, which I already showed you, also in decimal and hexadecimal. For example, here it is shown. Predefined colors like black, blue, green, red, etc. can directly given value as blue, green, red, whatever you want. Numeric values are specified in pixels, px that is pixels, pt that is point, in for inches, cm for centimeters, mm for millimeters. Percentage symbol for percent. Now there are three different ways for application of CSS, that is inline CSS, embedded CSS and external CSS. This example which I showed you is embedded type. As you applied your CSS style in a style tag that is under a head section, it is said to be a embedded CSS. Now let me show you inline CSS. Suppose I want to give some different style to only this paragraph tag using an inline CSS, then how I will give? You have to just do is write style attribute. Here style will behave as attribute. Here style will behave as attribute. Suppose inside a style I am writing property text decoration, that is underline. So for this paragraph tag, CSS is applied for text decoration underline. Let me run this and show you. You can see here this paragraph tag is of underlined, having a CSS tag decoration is underlined. Now the third type is external CSS. In this CSS file, it is externally stored with .css file extension. We have to just give reference to our HTML document to access that externally stored .css file. How in that CSS file there is nothing different, just CSS what you want to apply in your document. So how to link with this externally stored CSS file? There is a way. I am giving link rel equal to style sheet and href, that is to indicate where my file is stored. I am giving the name of my file name, that is common.css. I am completing my tag. Now let me run this. You can see here there is a no change. There is a no change because I have just linked my external CSS file having the same type of CSS which I already I before written in my head tag. External CSS styles, external linking, that is separate pages can all use a shared style sheet. Only modify a single file to change the style across your entire website. No need to go in every document to change the CSS. You have to just change a single file for changing any of the CSS. Link tag with a rel attribute which I already showed you, which specifies the relationship between a current document and another document. You can see, you can give in such a way which is shown here. Link element should be in a head section always. Example I already shown you in external document. So some of the text related CSS properties. That is color specifies the color of a text. Font size, that is the size of a font. XX small, X small, small, medium, large, extra large, XX large, smaller, larger, on any of the numeric value which you can give in a pixels. For example 12 pixel. You can also give in a percentage like 12%, whatever suits you. Another one is font family, that is comma separated font names. For example, the browser loads the first one that is available. There should always be at least one generic font. Another one is the font weight, which can be a normal, bold, bolder, lighter, or a number in a range 100 to 90. You can give like 100 pixel, 200 pixel, 300 pixel, whatever you want. There are some of the CSS rules for fonts. That is font style, style of the font. Values are normal, italic or oblique, whichever you want or whichever suits you. Text decoration, that is decorate the text. I already give example for a text decoration. We used underline for a text decoration. Another values are none, line through, overline or a blink. Text align, that is the alignment of a text or other content. Inside any of the tag, if you want text aligned to be a right, left, middle, whatever, the values are left, right, center and justify. Now backgrounds. There are background image as well. URL of image to be based as a background. This is a new property using a color and image at the same time. Background repeat, that if you want to repeat the background till the width of the tag described for a background image or background repeat. You can also add background attachment. Now borders. You can give border width. You can use this. You can use values like thin, medium, thick, or any of the numerical values in pixel. You can also give a color to a border. You can also give a style to a border. Which type of border you want, that is hidden, dotted, dashed, solid, double, groove, on the basis of your need and requirement. Each property can be defined separately for left, top, bottom and right. Border top style can be a different and border left color can be a different. Now width and height. You can give width and height in a numerical values basis on your need. I already showed an example for this in image tag for a height. You can give width and height to any of the tags, div tag or span tag or image tag, table, whatever tag you want. If you want a particular height or width, you can give values in pixel and save it for your result. By default, and height of an element is defined by its content. It will take automatic height. Inline elements do not apply height unless you change their display style. Yeah, you have to remember this point. Now margin and padding. Suppose margin and padding define the spacing around the element. You can also give numerical values, that is 10 pixel and 50 pixel, 5 pixel, basis on your need. Can be defined for each 4 sides. If you want to give different margin to all the 4 sides, you can give like margin top, margin left, margin right, margin bottom. Same with padding. Remember, margin and spacing both are different things. Margin is spacing outside of the border and padding is spacing between the border and the content, that is inside the border. Float, the element floats to one side. It have two values, left and right. Left places the element on the left and right places the element on the right. Floated element should come before the content that will wrap around them in the code. Margin of floated elements do not collapse. Floated inline elements can apply height. Now, what are the benefits of using CSS? More powerful formatting than using presentation tags. Your pages load faster because browser cache the .css files. Increased accessibility because rules can be defined according to a given media. Pages are easier to maintain and update. Now, let me show you an example for some of the style attributes. Suppose I want to give a margin to a footer tag. So what I will do is, inside my style tag, I will just apply margin. Suppose I want to be a 10 pixel. So I will apply like this. Now I am running the application. You can see here margin, that is a footer tag, is having a margin of 10 pixel in all its side. That is left, right, as well as top and bottom. Now suppose I want to give a border different. So I will give border. Suppose I want border to be a 3 pixel thicker. So I will give 3 pixel. I want solid border, so solid. Let me run this. You can see here this border is thicker to a 3 pixel. Now suppose I want this border to be in a red. Just append my color. Now let me run this application again. You can see here border with 3 pixel having color red is displayed for a footer tag. In this way you can use your CSS. In CSS 3, let me show you. Selectors. Using these selectors you can choose DOM element based on their attributes. So you don't need to specify classes and IDs for every element. Instead you can utilize the attribute field to style them. For example, you can see here your HTML will be like this. Another new feature in CSS 3 is border image. The property border image allows you to specify an image to display instead of a plain solid colored border. Your CSS will look like this and your HTML will be like this. Now gradient. A box shadow allows you to create a drop shadow for an element. Your CSS will be like this and your HTML will be like this. Rounded corner. Suppose I want to give a rounded corner to my rounded border to my frame. So there is another property for this is a border radius. Your CSS will be like this and HTML will be like this. Let me show you an example. Border radius. So I will give border radius equal to 3 pixels. Let me run this application again. You can see here it is curved in 4 corners, that is 3 pixels. Let me increase the pixel so you can have a better look. I am giving 10 pixels. Let me run this application. You can see the difference. Transform, you can rotate the text or anything according to degree. 180, 270, 360, 90, whatever you want. Your HTML and CSS will be like this. Box shadow is another new feature in CSS 3. This is your CSS and this is your HTML. Text shadow is another new property which allows you to add and drop shadows to the text on a web page. Your CSS will be like this and HTML will look like this. For references, you can go for this URLs. Let's end this session. Hopefully you understand this. Thank you.